MVP Podcast. My name is Chris.
I'm Hannah.
All right. And
Hey.
we're going to be going for an hour here or until the internet goes out. We are 2 out of the last 3 live shows have had massive internet problems.
Yeah.
We have worked the problem, I think, as best as we possibly can, and I think we're going to be okay. But the rules are, if you have audio problems, if there's something weird going on.
If we're freezing up.
Right, here's the thing. We don't have a producer. We're sitting at my 9-foot home.
Oh my God, we're doing this without a producer.
In my basement. There is no producer. There is no team. There is nobody double checking what we're doing.
Team.
There's none of that happening here. I had this stupid circle light that Hannah brought because she wanted me to be lit better. All right. And that's the extent of this. Otherwise, we're just sitting at a bar. She's got a wine. I've got a bunch of pills. Where's my camera? There it is. And I'll explain what's going on with that. And we're just kind of going with this here. So if you have any kind of issue, video issue, audio issue, jump into the comments. I would love to know about that. I see Juan has a comment right away. And this is probably something that got cut off. Yeah. Talk about the AI story again from last week and see what happens to your Wi-Fi. That's true. That's true. I started talking about AI and immediately everything went out.
I didn't even think about that.
And then it went back on again and we got back on the air. I started to continue the story. We went out again. So it's possible.
Interesting.
It's possible we were attacked. And I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to go with.
Let's go with that. It wasn't anything we did.
No, I'm not going with
Nothing we
incompetence.
did.
No, I'm going with an AI conspiracy is what I'm going to go with. Okay. And we
Yep.
may get to that story before this show is over. But the show will go until 9 or until artificial intelligence knocks out our internet service, and then the show will just end. And you have the regular show that happens every Monday on demand. There's a new one out. It's just absolutely packed. I was so fortunate that we had so many guests on the show that's currently out. There's
it was a
3
good
different
one.
guests on that show.
a great one.
It's a really nice show that's up there right now on demand. I'm always proud of my shows, but there's some of them where I go, that one worked out well. And the big plus to that, and the thing that really made me feel good, is that show was put together with shoestrings because I had done most of the work before I injured my back.
Yeah.
And I brought this up on the live show
You're
last week.
suffering today.
I'm in a lot of trouble. I can't sit.
Yeah,
If
you're
you're watching the show right now, I'm standing and I am on so many muscle relaxers. I am high as a kite right now. I could be doing a live show. I could be talking to myself right now in my underpants looking in the mirror. I don't know if you're
wearing
real or
basketball
not.
shorts, so.
Okay, I have no idea. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was explaining to Hannah, like, I'm kind of dressed like a vagabond today. I'm total Southside today in my basketball shorts and my bare
Southside.
feet standing down here. I spent the majority of the day laying on the couch in the recliner. I'm on this weird, like, muscle relaxer. I hurt my back, first of all. My daughter and I were putting the ladder into the pool. My son was waiting in the pool. The ladder kind of slipped on her end. She was going to be crushed. I did the dad thing. I grabbed it and twisted my back. She feels terrible. She was down here yesterday all upset about
poor
it because her
thing.
father can barely move. I spend basically 10 hours a day laying on the couch. They set up a computer for me so I can produce my shows. I'm doing, like, I will time out my medicine so I can stand for about an hour or so to do interviews or do stuff that I have to do on a microphone, and then I'm back on the couch and zonked out. And I got to see the doctor tomorrow, and then the hope is an X-ray, maybe a steroid shot or something like that in my back, just so I can move.
Temporary relief, yeah.
It's brutal. I mean,
Because you spent the whole last week just laid up, didn't you?
well, I feel like an old man. That's the first thing. I feel like an absolute.
Like I was over here Sunday and you did not move.
No.
Like you did not move.
No, that's the thing.
So that's
yeah.
gotta be making it worse. Like just laying there, it's gotta be making it worse.
Hannah was here on Sunday, and she comes over to enjoy the pool. Her and
Yes.
my wife are in the pool. They're both they're drinking cocktails. There's music playing, and I don't even think Hannah realized I was here. Like at one point, you walked by, went to the bathroom, changed into your swimsuit, and you didn't even notice me as I'm laying prone
No, I didn't.
on my back with the heating pad zonked out on pills.
Yeah, I didn't even notice
You
you.
didn't even know, you probably
so
went out.
quiet.
You probably went outside. It was like, "Where's Chris?"
Yeah, you were so quiet. And Erica's like, he's been on the couch. I'm like, really? I was like, she's like, yeah, he's like, he didn't go to church this morning. I'm like,
No, I
ooh,
didn't. My mother brought me communion today.
Really?
Yes, my mother brought me communion today,
Ah,
and then had the silliest argument with me possible. So
What? I'm
okay.
dying to hear this.
Okay, so I love my mom. I love her.
I hope
okay?
you do.
And oh, I love her to death. I think sometimes she thinks that I don't like her or something like that. She's like one of my favorite people in the whole world. Okay, and I love her because she's like one of the only people in the world that I can have an argument with, and I'm gonna lose. Generally, I win all my arguments.
Of course, you win every argument.
I crush people. I do.
You haven't met your toughest opponent, though.
No, this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. I crush people in arguments. I used to not be that way. I was more like what my son is now. My 15-year-old, he is still trying to find his voice. He's trying to find his voice. I know his friends seem to think he's a funny guy. It sounds like that, like they like him and stuff like that. But he isn't like the guy who's like the big voice in the room.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no. That's not him.
And he's running into some issue. Like right now he's at work and like he's waiting to get put on the schedule, and he probably should go ask a question like, why am I not on it? Okay. And he's still like a go with the flow type kid. But I was that when I was younger. Now I'm not.
No,
I'm not. And the only person in the world that can argue with me and will win every argument because she refused to lose is my mother. And I was explaining this to my daughter today because she's been arguing with her mom, as teenage girls do. I was like, moms don't give in. That's not in their nature.
No, they can't.
No.
They can't.
Moms don't give in. What moms will do is they're gonna do everything they possibly can to win the argument. If they lose the argument, you're gonna feel guilty for winning. And that's kind of how it is with my mom. So here's what happened. My mother, I love her.
Yes.
She makes rosaries for the church. She opens up the chapel a couple of days a week. She came over today because of my back, and she gave me a special prayer that she printed out.
I saw that. I saw it on the bar. Yeah.
To pray for my back to feel better.
Is there a saint for that?
I don't know. I'm sure there is. And now she's gonna be, if she told me, I wasn't paying any attention. No, the cards.
Oh, it's a unity prayer. Okay.
Right. And then she told me that one of the people on one of these prayers, something like that, is from an exorcist to keep the devil away. And I was like, is the devil in my back? Like, I mean, that's mom, okay? Yeah. Mom's trying everything.
The devil's in your back.
The doctor's going to take care of me physically.
You're
Mom's taking care of me, my spirituality.
Okay.
And praying to make sure that I'm healed.
Okay.
Okay, that's what she's doing.
Okay.
So anyway, about a month ago, I was having a conversation with my mother, and I was talking about the fact that she's been a Eucharistic minister where she gives out communion at Mass. And she immediately says, I've never been one of those. And I go, yeah, you are. You're a Eucharistic minister. She goes, no, I'm not. And for some reason,
you are.
That day, she was convinced she wasn't a Eucharistic minister. Today, she came by to give me communion.
Okay.
In a special thing that Eucharistic ministers have, that they get the host from church.
Did you win that argument?
And you would think I would win that argument. Right?
I mean, how would she even get the host to bring it over?
No. You would think.
Well, she's got the Terry Lanuti connections.
Well, exactly. But you would think I would win that argument, right? She says, I'm not one of these. I say, yes, you are. She tells me I'm wrong. I give up because I'm not going to argue. 3 weeks later, I'm laid up with my back. She walks over. She's got the special Eucharistic minister thing with a blessed host from the Catholic Church to give me Holy Communion because I'm sick. So then I go, I thought you weren't a Eucharistic minister. I lost this argument somehow. She convinced me that she isn't a Eucharistic minister. She's a minister of the sick. And even when I said, oh
my God,
did you just administer me communion? And she goes, yes. I'm like, so you're
a Eucharistic minister.
She's like, no,
you can't get the host.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No one's going to give you the host
it was
if
hysterical.
You're not. What did she minister to the sick?
She got me. I wasn't going to win. In the end, my daughter's laughing. My son came down the stairs later and was laughing about the conversation. He's like, you can't win against her. I'm like, I can't win against her. She literally out-talked me and just defeated me. And that's fine. She came over here today. She prayed for me. She gave me communion because I haven't been able to make it to church. I can't get out of the house. Basically, I live in the basement right now. That's what I do. That's what I do. We have something planned for everybody today on the show, and I want to put up real quick I'm going to put up the invite for anybody to join the video stream. But Hannah, we're going to be doing the Battle of Evergreen Park.
I'm so excited for this. So excited.
And the Battle of Evergreen Park is essentially going to be the battle of all of the restaurants, eateries, bars, you name it, in Evergreen to find the best.
I mean, there's so many of them. Like, is it literally all of them?
Well, we got to pick them.
Okay, we got to pick
So
'em.
tonight is the night we're going to start the process
Got it.
of picking the best.
Okay.
I just put this this link inside of the feed. If you want to join us and talk to us and put in your input, you're welcome to come in and join us and give us your input. But what we're going to do is we have to start selecting who's going to be part of the 16-seeded tournament
Okay.
in the Battle of Evergreen
I'm
Park.
excited.
Now, here's the thing. I did this with Suburbs against Suburbs on
Right.
Southside Pod
And it was a hit.
right around March Madness.
Yeah.
And it was a big hit. So I was sitting around and I was thinking to myself, like, what do people get into in Evergreen? And it hit me. They get into their food here.
Yeah.
There's
So many restaurants.
there's Keep the Green and Evergreen. There's go to these different restaurants. You got a wide array of eateries. We've got some pizza places. We've got a lot going on here. So the idea behind this is let's pit them against each other in a battle to see who gets laid to waste and who ends up being the champion.
It's laid to waste.
I like that's kind of how I saw it. Let's see.
Let's let them down gently.
Like a bloodbath between the restaurants. That's what it is. I almost call it the
Celebrity
bloodbath.
death match.
That's what I thought about that. I thought about the
Celebrity
Evergreen
death
Park
match.
death match, the bloodbath of Evergreen Park. All these were shot down by her social media manager.
Oh, come on.
And she was
Come on,
like,
Faith.
this isn't going to work. You can't do that. And I was like, all right, fine. So the Battle of Evergreen Park. So what I would like right now, at least tonight, I would like to see if we can come up with at least for sure they're in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll start taking suggestions over the next couple of weeks of people of who should be in there. All right. So do you have off the top of your head right now? And the rule is restaurant, bar, any kind of eatery whatsoever. You know, I mean, like you could do hot dog stand or something like that if you want to. I'm also wondering, do we keep chain restaurants in this?
I would not because we have so many that are not chains.
I don't know though. Some of them are good.
Yeah, like, Woo's is a chain.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know.
And they have a lobster roll.
Right.
That's
And
amazing.
Durbin's is a chain essentially.
It's a local chain.
And there's 4 or 5 locations on the
so
south
a
side.
local chain I'm fine with, but not an Applebee's.
See,
or Longhorn.
okay. So we've got to figure out those rules.
Yeah.
So I'll take that input from
local
people.
chains are fine.
And then the other thing is that I wonder. There's such an obsession with breweries. I would love to see whether or not people would like to incorporate the 2 that are nearby, because you have
so we can go outside of Evergreen.
Well, that's the other thing I'm wondering. Can you pick a spot that Evergreen Park people go to that's not an Evergreen? I don't know if I would pick a restaurant per se,
yeah.
but I might pick the 2 breweries out there just because it's a different experience because of their beer. It's just an idea. I'm not saying I'm doing it, but that's the things that I'm throwing out there.
Interesting.
Now, all we're doing is trying to figure out who's going to be part of the eventual competition.
Okay.
Okay, which when we did this with the Suburbs against Suburbs, turned into maybe one of the most competitive, angriest.
You had Chambers of Commerce getting involved.
The Blue Island Chamber of Commerce still hates me. And they won. That's the funniest thing. They won the Battle of the South
and they
Side.
hate you.
And the Blue Island Chamber of Commerce, not a fan. Like,
just don't get stabbed there. Just don't get stabbed. They don't have a
like
hospital.
they were upset, and like
They don't have a hospital.
And I go there. I go there all the time because of that Southside Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, like, this is something we're gonna have fun. We're going to crown a winner. We're going to destroy some people. We're going to have people angry at us.
Yes.
There's going to be fighting. It's going to be great. It's going to be a beautiful summer with the Battle of Evergreen Park.
It's going to be a beautiful summer.
It's going to be amazing. Okay, and you know what? This is the perfect night to work on this because I'm high on goofball pills. And first of all, give me your 2, and then I want to tell you. I want to give me 2 places off the top of your head that are definitely in the. And then I want to tell you about these things that I got put on because they are crazy.
All right, so Chai Tong.
You're putting Chai Tong in
Oh,
there.
they're sushi. They're sushi. Automatically, Chai Tong, they're sushi.
Okay, now here's
I
the thing.
will DoorDash that and pay
Here's the
whatever
thing.
the fee is if I'm craving it.
I'm going to question your policy of chains because although there aren't any other Chai Tongs, I do remember an article about 10 years back, and I think it was the Sun Times or the Tribune, which said there's a bunch of them all basically owned by the same place.
Okay.
And they just all have different names. So
You're getting really technical there.
just,
You're
I
pulling
will
at
put chai
straws.
tongue in. Hey, I'm just challenging.
You're pulling at straws.
All right.
You
all
gotta
right.
argue.
Chai
You gotta
tongue's in.
argue.
Chai tongue's in.
All right, Tavern in the Green.
And Tavern in the Green.
I love Tavern. Guys, a couple of years ago, we went there and we did like a review. And I still remember them telling us they like monger their salmon fresh every day. And I just remember all that. And I don't know. I love going there.
Okay.
I was just there a couple weeks ago. So good.
All right. Give me one more. I'm going to give
There's
you one
one
more.
that I'm dying to go to. And I'm dying to go to, but it's Titi's.
You've never
Never been there. I gotta find somebody to go with me. Like, I don't want to go by myself. I want to go on that martini night where she like makes the martinis like behind the bar. So I love Vietnamese food. It's like, why do I have a problem just going there by myself? I don't know. I want somebody to go with me. But Titi's, I've heard nothing but amazing things about the place.
Okay,
I want to try it out.
But I don't know if you could put them in there because you haven't tried them yet. Do you
I
want
know.
to put them in there?
I mean, we got to put them in there because other
Okay.
people like it.
All right.
Porter
I'll
Cullen's
put
has to
TT's
go
in.
in.
No, hold on. You're doing too many of them now.
Oh.
Okay, fine.
Stop
Porter
fussing at
Cullen's.
me.
Then you're done.
All right.
Okay. I get to pick two.
Stop fussing
I get to
at me.
pick two that I'm automatically putting in.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to put the two pizza places in.
Rosangelo's
Rosangela's and Baracos.
and Baracos.
They got to
okay?
be in.
I love
Okay.
the Baracos because of their late hours.
Yeah.
Or
Tho-
24 hours,
those
put it
those
that way.
those two have to go in my mind. Now
Yeah.
that's 6 spots.
Okay.
That leaves 10 more.
Okay.
Possibilities I was writing down, but I mean it's not just these places. But like you mentioned Woo's House, okay? You can go with something like an ice cream place like Cravings.
Yeah.
You can go with something like Wojo's up the street.
I was going to say Wojo's.
You can go with the Durbans, as we mentioned. You
Wojo's
can go
is
with the
so
American
good.
Legion Bar, which is a really neat bar. Okay. And I like hanging out in there because it's that horseshoe circle bar. And it's got the machines in there and everything like that. And they make a really good bar pizza in there. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
If you walk in there and you get yourself just a tavern pizza, that it's not bad when you
Okay.
get it in there. Okay. So I mean, like that's a solid place as well. The American Legion. I dig that. Pappy's is an
Pappy's
institution.
has to be on
Oh,
there.
but we're not putting them on there.
Why?
Because you don't get to pick everything. We
Oh,
got to
come
let the
on. You
listeners do
mentioned
it.
it.
No, the listeners get to do it. I'm just throwing out possibilities.
All right. And
The
don't
only-
forget about the taco place at 95th and Kedzie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the best tacos.
The La Cucina. I don't know how you say that last word.
I don't know
Jago-
either. I'm a gringo.
Listen, I don't know.
Jalisco. It's
Is
not
that it?
It's not
All right,
Jalisco. It's
I don't know.
Jalisco.
I don't know.
I know that much.
But I know which one that you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting a word that we're freezing a little bit. So, of course, the internet is not working perfectly.
And lagging a tan. Who is that directed at?
Lagging a ton.
Oh,
Lagging
a ton.
lagging
Lagging a tan. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
think
who is
that's what
that
he's saying.
directed at?
Yeah. Okay.
So I know I look
So
pale.
far, I'm going to put the list up there, and we're going to stick it in there so that everybody can see it. These are definitely in the contest. There are 10 additional spots. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there for everybody to see.
Yep.
10 additional spots, and then we're going to see if anybody wants to jump in, add them. You can put them in the comment field if you don't want to talk, but these are ones that are there. I don't know if we'll get all 16 filled out tonight,
Okay.
but we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, listen to this stuff that I'm taking.
Oh.
Baclofen.
I've never even heard of that. Baclofen.
And it's weird because it's for my back.
I think it's for your
It's
back.
called Baclofen. Seems made up. Really does. Give him some Baclofen. What's that for? His back.
His back.
Okay, so the back was spasming.
It's
That's
very
how
back.
that's how bad I screwed it up. And I'm convinced I know what it is that I have. But I looked up what this drug was after I was on it for about a week. And first of all, highly addictive.
Yeah, I'm surprised they. 'Cause,
Like
after
you
I
get
had sinus surgery, they
you
wouldn't
get-
give me any painkillers.
Oh, yeah.
So like, they're so careful with what they don't prescribe these days.
when I come off this medication, I supposedly can suffer from hallucinations,
Oh, your withdrawals.
the shakes, withdrawals. In fact, it was compared online to, for some people coming off this medication is like an alcoholic trying to dry out, or somebody that's on drugs trying to go clean.
Let's see. Clinical manifestations include agitation, insomnia, confusion, delusions, hallucinations, seizures, psychosis.
Half of that stuff I do already, not all of it.
Are you spastic?
No,
No.
unless
So that hasn't kicked
unless
in
I'm
yet.
about the White Sox. Okay.
So that hasn't kicked in
All right,
yet.
but the whole idea was it was supposed to knock down like the spasms that were going on in my back. So I looked up what it actually does. This is what they give the people on their deathbed when they're spasming so much. That's what they give
Wow.
them. That's what this stuff is used for. It's used for spinal injuries in people with MS.
Oh my God.
Like that's what they give it to. And then it was prescribed to me because that's how bad my back is.
Oh God.
So that makes me feel great.
Alrighty. It's also
That's
used
how,
for Parkinson's.
if you're wondering how bad it is, like that's the amazing thing. Like right now you could see me, I'm standing here, I can wave my arms.
He's in pain.
Oh my gosh, I have
He
three.
is in
I have
pain.
3 icy hot patches on just to do this show.
Yeah,
today.
3 of them on.
Oh yeah, I'm covered. There's probably you're not supposed
You're
to do
literally
that.
covered.
You're probably not supposed to do that, but I have a lot of icy hot patches on.
When do you ever follow the rules, though?
Well, I looked up the Baclofen, and I was like, 10 milligrams 3 times a day. I wonder what
3 times a day?
I wonder what the max is on this. The max is 80 milligrams a day,
And there's only 10?
and I'm only getting 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah, so like last night when I was spazzing a lot, I was like, we're gonna sneak another one of them in there, okay? And
You're already getting addicted.
See, I'm already addicted
You're
to it.
already addicted
I am.
to it. You're already addicted to
oh,
it.
it hurts to laugh. It hurts to laugh.
It hurts to laugh?
Okay, it does. Everything
That's,
hurts.
aw,
Everything's
that's terrible. I'm
Everything's
sorry.
brutal. So,
I'm sorry.
all right. So, I got asked to be a pizza judge.
That's so cool. I want to be a pizza judge.
And there's a pizza eating competition, not in Evergreen Park. I don't know why I was selected. I don't know if it was because of Southside Pod or Sox in the Basement, but I got reached out to by somebody from Garfield Ridge
Okay.
who wants me to come there for like some big pizza eating competition for the entire suburbs and have me taste pizza all day long. And this is going to ruin the diet, but I'm going to do it.
Is it a pizza tasting contest or a pizza eating contest?
It's a
Like,
pizza tasting contest.
tasting.
It's a
Okay.
blind
It's
taste
not like
test.
the hot dog contest
No.
where people like stuff their face.
No, it's a blind taste test where I'm
Ooh.
going to eat pizza and then judge the pizza,
Okay.
which I really hope it's secret what my answers are because people get angry
Oh, the hell you say?
in Chicago
Yeah.
if you pick the wrong pizza, right? Like if I were to sit there and name a popular pizza joint and say, I don't like eating it, people would lose their mind.
Do you like pizza with a sweet sauce?
I like all kinds of pizza.
I love it with a sweet sauce.
I'm
and
not-
I believe pineapple goes on pizza. Crucify me. I'm going to die one day anyways. I think pineapple belongs on pizza.
I like how you stare into the camera while you do that. Like you're challenging people while you're
challenging
doing it.
people.
Yeah, you're angry.
Come
Yeah,
at me.
you-
Come at me.
over pizza. No,
People get passionate about the pineapple thing.
to me, like I used to be the kind of person that didn't like anything other than like real pizza, right? I'd be one of those people like New York pizza sucks, right? I had Sbarro. New York pizza's terrible,
That's
right?
not New York pizza.
Hold on, I haven't gotten to the end of the story. Okay, so I used to be like that. I used to be big deep dish guy, and I used to say that's it. That's the greatest pizza. I think now I could appreciate a deep dish on a certain day. I think the tavern style that Chicago is, it's thin with the squares
Yeah.
that you get from like a Palermo's or Rosangela's, something like that. You know, Baracco's even does it like that. That's probably my go-to style, right?
Yeah.
But I think after living all over the country from coast to coast, I can have a New York slice where, by the way, if you're in New York, get it from the Subway. Somehow that's some of the best pizza in New York is the Subway pizza. It's really weird. But I've tried it at a bunch of places there, and just get a slice down there in Grand Central, and you're fine. Okay. But also like I like the West Coast stuff where they do like the crazy things and they put pineapple on there and stuff like that. So I really can kind of jump around with pizza. So I'm probably going to be a good judge at this.
Okay.
I would imagine I could sit there and say this is good and this is bad. Now I am convinced though that if I judge something poorly, I'm going to take a lot of crap.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it's weird because they're having me go into an area. I don't know who's in this contest. Like, first of all, I'm going to be able to tell everything from around here.
Should say Nick and Vito's if they're in it. You can like tell their
I'm going to
pizza.
know who they are.
You can tell by taste. Baggers has a very distinct look, a very distinct
Right.
taste.
If
So does
Rosangela's
Baracco's.
is in this, if Baracco's is in
Baracco's
this,
is a very
if
distinct taste.
Palermo's, there's no way you're going to give me one of those. I'm not going to know it's a Palermo's with the sweet sauce.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
Rosangela's has a sweet sauce.
it's not the same.
Not the same.
Not really. No, the Palermo's they put like a jelly or
A
something.
grape
That's what I
jelly,
always
yeah.
heard that they put in the sauce or something.
what
that
I've heard.
They sweeten it up. Allegedly. Okay?
Allegedly.
Yeah. There's been enough people who claim that they've
Allegedly.
worked there and they all say the same thing. So that's what I think happened. But I
Allegedly.
don't want to give away their big secret.
Allegedly.
But that one kind of sticks out. So I think that'll be also weird for me. It's going to be a blind taste test. I'm not supposed to know who's in it. But that's going to be what's interesting for me is trying to figure out, do I know this pizza? Because if I get one from around here, they're winning.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I know who they are.
You're biased. You're a bad
They're
judge.
winning. I
You're
am
a bad
terrible
judge.
judge.
You're a bad judge.
All right. So remember, if you want to jump in to the show tonight, one of the topics that we're talking about is what restaurants should be in the Battle of the South Side. Again, I'll take bars. I'll take breweries. I'll link. I really think we should consider, unless somebody objects to it, and the listeners can have a say in this. I think we should consider like Horse Thief Hollow over there, who just won. They were just on the show last week. Okay, they were on the live show, not on the
They're
regular show.
on the border.
But they're right on the border.
They're on the border.
And they just won a gold medal at the World Beer Cup. And we
Yeah,
all know
for
John
a
Brand.
Pilsner.
We all know John Brand. His beer is getting distributed all over Evergreen Park. And
Yeah,
yeah,
the
he doesn't have a
Opera.
brewery in here right now. But you get the feeling at some point he's probably moving in here. Or
Mm-hmm.
or at least if he never moves a physical thing in here, his stuff's on tap everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's right outside the place. So those are probably the two that I wouldn't go out as far as like Blue Island Beer Company or something.
No, that's
crazy
too
like
far.
that.
No.
No, I wouldn't do that. So that's if you have a restaurant, and then if you're just joining the show, because I see people jumping in and getting out right now, these are the 6 that are in for sure in the 16 restaurant tournament. Hannah picked 4 of them, and I picked 2.
I eat
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah, Hannah put one in that she's never eaten at, which I think
Because
is,
I want to try it so bad.
she was like, I want TT's on there. I'm like, have you eaten there?
TT's.
No, it's TT.
It's TT?
It's TT. I've interviewed TT before.
TT, I thought it was
And I've met
TT's.
TT. And
TT.
when I called her Thithi, she said no.
It's TT.
And she's like, it's TT. And I was like, oh, everybody else calls it Thithi's.
Thithi's.
And every time I say TT, people correct me.
TT.
And I always go, I've met the woman who it's named after. It's her literal first name.
TT.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, you've all been saying it wrong.
I said it wrong. TT's.
And she's too nice to correct you. So everybody in
So
the world
TT's.
walks around and calls it the wrong thing, and that's not what it is. All right.
Okay.
So I want to get to the AI story because we didn't get to it last week because we got cut off by the internet.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see if
We
we
have
can
a
do this.
bot talking to us.
Yeah, we do. Okay. So here's the deal. This story came out last week, and we didn't get to finish this story last week, so I want to get in. The story comes out last week that you keep hearing about this artificial intelligence. And, to me, it's just, we're just all waiting for Terminator 3 to happen.
Yeah.
Which is referenced in Terminator 2 and Terminator 1. Okay. We're waiting for the machines to rise
We're just going to die.
and wipe us all out. And that's what I
Yeah.
think is going to happen. And nothing made me more convinced that this was going to happen than the story that came out that the U.S. military decided to use artificial intelligence with their drone system in a simulation. Now, the AI didn't know.
They made it too smart.
They didn't know that it was a simulation. So the AI believes that every time it launches on a target, that it's real and that it has a certain amount of weapons and it
Yeah.
has all the different things. And the only rule the AI was given was it could only launch and complete its mission if given approval by a human being, because they want to keep a human element in it. And as they're doing the simulation, the AI decides that the human being is getting in the way of completing the mission.
Yeah.
And so the AI turns the drone back towards the home base and blows up the home base and kills all the humans, it believes.
Talk about friendly fire.
That's what it does. So in the simulation, it took like a couple of hours, and it was the plot from Terminator. That's how long it took. Just a couple of
Jeez.
hours, and the AI became self-aware and was like, we're just going to take out the humans because I have missiles
Because we're
now.
in the way.
Right, because we're in the
Yeah,
way.
we're in the way.
We told it no. That should...
We told it no.
Like, that's- the AI is like...
Yeah.
Not like being told no.
No.
I mean, imagine if you gave a drone to a 7-year-old and you told him he had to turn off the TV. You out,
yeah.
right?
Even
Like
a
that-
5-year-old.
That might happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's really what this artificial intelligence is.
Yeah.
It's basically got that mindset to it. So what they do then is they tell the AI, if you blow up the people that are running the simulation, if you blow up the base, you lose points in this simulation. You get a downgrade to what your performance was. The AI then immediately figures out that the only way they would know what it does is if they're able to use their radar. The AI then takes out all of the US radar in the area and then goes back and blows up the base again. Then they had to unplug it because it got angry with them.
It got angry. It has feelings.
Now listen,
It's scary when they
it
have
might
feelings.
be fun to use this
got all the
stuff
feels.
to like make like a portrait of like your perfect man or woman or something like that, or
Dude, those are
imagine
creepy.
imagine a beach or whatever you want to do. You these kids that are cheating on their papers by putting it into artificial intelligence things
ChatGPT,
that spit out projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. The scariest thing though is the drone that decided it was going to take out its handlers. This cannot happen. And this isn't the first one. You had that New York Times thing about a month ago where like the AI basically told the New York Times reporter that his mission was to take out the rest of humanity.
Oh my God.
Like it just said it. It's like I would like to release a virus and get the nuclear codes. In the interview, you can Google this. New York Times reporter gets told by AI that it wants the nuclear codes. And then they interrupted the interview that the New York Times was having with the AI bot and ushered him out of the room. Like this is a real thing going on. It's the new thing to be worried about. I thought COVID was easier than this. That was less scary to me. Am I nuts for thinking
Why
that?
a conversation with Bing's chatbot left me deeply.
It was Bing. It was
deeply
Bing.
unsettled.
Yeah. Your search
Deeply
engine now.
unsettled.
Your search engine now on Microsoft, it wants to kill you. Just so you know. So the next
Hey,
time
I'm
you
not paying $6.50
listen,
to read this.
so the next time,
I pay you $6 for your recipes. You won't let me see your stories.
listen, the next time that you decide to use Bing to look up something that
People
you want to
use
find,
Bing?
I don't know. Some people might use Bing. I don't know.
Use Bing?
Just remember that the search engine that's looking it up for you also wants you dead. Okay. Oh man.
I don't
Okay.
want to live here anymore.
All right. Tell me about your big weekend.
I had a big weekend.
Because Hannah met this guy. I know we've been talking about her love life a lot. She met this guy. Is this the guy that we met on the live show a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
This
French fry guy.
This guy met you in a drive-through of a McDonald's.
Yes.
And gave you extra fries because you were cute.
Yes.
And you gave him a shot.
I gave him a shot.
And how long have you been dating him now?
It's been a couple months.
You've been dating the McDonald's guy for a couple of months?
That's his moonlight. He moonlights at McDonald's. He has a real job. He has a real job.
He moonlights at McDonald's?
McDonald's.
I don't buy that.
You don't buy
No,
that?
I
You
think
don't
he's
buy
telling
that?
you that. I think he's telling you that to kind of keep you on the hook. Okay, so
Okay.
you've been dating McDonald's guy.
Yeah.
And last weekend was a big weekend because you got to meet who?
His child.
Take me through this.
His child. I was terrified, Chris.
This is a big step.
I was terrified.
I mean, look, I'm still married to my wife, but I imagine that if like she walked out in the street tomorrow and got hit by a bus that for some reason was going down 99th Street instead of 95th. But let's say a bus ran her over. Okay, I don't know if I'd ever introduce another woman that I spoke to or started dating or something like
Yeah.
that to my kids. That would be a big
Because,
step
like,
for me.
I was, the product of, I had a stepmother, but I was a teenager and it was kind of forced on me. It's like, I never want to do that to another child. I was terrified. The kid's only 5. Little
Oh
boy,
gosh, he's just like an AI bot.
he's like an
He
AI
could turn
bot,
on you in a heartbeat.
and he does.
Okay. Okay, so
So I did the Hannah thing and I went and bought him a bunch of presents. So he's
you
into
bribed him.
I bribed him as much as I could. I got him like a stuffed like German Shepherd dogs. He loves like police. And he loves like regular Hershey bars. I got him 2 6-packs of regular Hershey bars. He loves the Blue Mountain Dew. He got 4 bottles of Blue Mountain Dew. And then I gave him a Fortnite gift card. Do you think that was enough?
How much was the gift card for?
20.
You bribed the kid.
Is that what I did?
You gave $20 in Fortnite to a 5-year-old?
Yeah.
You might as well give him $1,000. That's a
Really?
big deal for a little
That-
kid.
okay.
Did he like you?
Well, no, he just threw everything out of the gift bag and said, okay, let's go upstairs and play. That's all he wanted to do was play.
Well, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Well, you said
like
that-
his dad told him, like, hey, she's coming over to play with you. In his little mind, he was like, oh, she's mine.
Right.
So, like, dad came upstairs to try to play with us, and he kept saying, Dad, you look tired. Go take a nap.
Dad bribed him with you as well.
Yeah, so,
He's
like,
like,
dad,
here is this woman
dad
that will
was-
play with you.
Dad was not allowed in the playroom. Like, the little boy shut the door, locked it, and then we moved his little wooden table and chairs in front of the door and stacked the chairs on top of the table to keep dad out.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
It was
I need to
pretty-
understand.
we
No. I got to understand this. So you went over to your new. How long have you been dating this guy?
2 months.
2 months. You've been dating this guy 2 months. He decides to introduce you to his 5-year-old son.
Yeah.
The 5-year-old son is told by the dad that you're coming over for him.
Yes.
The boy believes that this adult woman is there for him.
Yes.
dad out of the room.
Oh, yeah.
Locks the door and barricades it.
Yes.
I like this kid's style.
So we were
I dig
playing.
this kid.
We were playing police and SWAT. Which, okay, the police department, it's not fair. I guess there's budgeting issues with SWAT because, like, he had his little gun, he had his walkie-talkie, he had a flashlight, he had a samurai sword. He gave me a squishy ball.
He had a samurai
A
sword.
little samurai sword. He gave me a squishy ball. He's like, yeah. When he see the bad guy, which is dad, he's like,
Right.
just throw this ball at him. I'm like,
Okay, so
how
now
does the SWAT team get less than the police?
I want to amend what the 5-year-old's mindset is. Not only does he lock dad out of the room
Locked
to
him
be
out.
with this woman that dad provided for him.
No stranger danger at all.
Of course not.
No stranger
Okay.
danger.
Then after that, he wants to go out and kill dad
Yeah,
with
the
the
Nerf
new woman.
gun.
See, he's just like AI.
Yeah, he's just like AI.
He's just like AI.
He's just like AI.
Dad provided him with a girl, and he was like, "Yeah, here we go. We're
Here
gonna
we
go
go.
kill dad now."
We're gonna kill dad
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Well, then we went to the park, and I got fired twice as a swing pusher.
Okay. You're not good at pushing on swings.
How do you mess this up? How do you mess this
I
up?
don't know, Hannah. I've never
he would
been
turn
fired
around and he
pushing
would
swings.
see me. He's like, I don't want you. I want dad. I'm like,
You don't
I'm
push
pushing
high.
you
You don't.
just as
You
much.
don't. You don't push high enough. No, I'm going to tell you something. Not to interrupt your story, but
Yeah.
when you're pushing a little kid, they want to feel like they're going to fly off the thing without flying off the thing.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole way of doing it. There's it, and the thing is, they really won't come off of there. Generally, once you figure out the kid's going to stay on,
Yeah.
the kid's going to stay. Just let it rip.
Just let it rip.
Oh, I have fired my children like parallel to the top of the bar. I've
Yeah.
gotten them all the way up on that thing and brought them all the way back.
All right.
I mean, you could just fire a kid out there.
And
I
be
mean,
a little careful.
What's the
'cause it's not
word?
mine.
I mean, are they swinging over concrete?
no mulch.
Okay, that's fine. I used to play at Owen School at 83rd and Spalding because that's where my neighborhood was. Because I didn't grow up in Evergreen. I grew up just north of here, okay, in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And that was concrete that I would swing over.
How many times did you fall off?
Asphalt that had broken bottles on it. That's what I used to play on. Okay. I used to swing from monkey bars that were just metal over concrete. That's what I used to play on. Okay. So when I see this mulch stuff, I figure, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're just going to fall into the mulch. And I think that's where your mentality, you're probably like, I can't kill this kid
Well, no, I can't.
because I just
kill
met
him.
this kid. Dad doesn't care. That's why he wants dad.
Dad doesn't care.
Dad's like, boom. He's just firing
Just
him off.
blast him
Yeah,
off,
that's what he's
yeah.
doing. That's why he wants his father.
Just blast him off.
That's why.
I was being a little bit too careful.
You were probably right to do that. Imagine if the kid actually does come off. That's it. It's like a bad romantic comedy. Like you injured a kid and then he never dates you again or something
yeah,
like that.
I don't want to injure his
You
kid.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to tell you this kid went nonstop. Like, I was so tired. I slept 12 hours that night when I got home.
So what did you do after the park?
Oh, we went to 2 parks.
Okay.
The first park we went
Is
to.
this whole idea, I feel like you and your boyfriend, does he have a first name? Can we use it?
Joe.
You and Joe. I feel like you and Joe were bribing this kid to like you. Like Joe wanted.
I was.
No, but Joe wanted it too. Because I don't take my kid to multiple parks.
Oh, he does. He does all the time.
Oh, well, you know what? That's ridiculous. Knock it off, Joe.
Knock it off.
Okay, knock it off. You get
He's
one.
a cool dad.
No, I'm a cool dad too, but I don't drive around to different parks. That's your park for the day. What do you need?
That's your park for the
What
day.
do you need another park
We did
for?
make him walk a mile to the park in the evening.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you go to 2 parks.
Yeah.
Back to back?
No, a few hours in between.
Okay, what happens in between the parks?
Well, we left the first park and it was bald sun. It was hot. He was going like 90 miles an hour. As soon as, by the way, in the SUV, I had to sit in the back seat, in the middle seat next to him. I could not sit up front with his dad. So we're in the back seat and he had said multiple times he wanted to go to Applebee's. Right? We're going to go to Applebee's. He slumped over, just passed out. So we get to Applebee's and he's like, can we get the food to go and eat at home? And Joe's like, what? He's like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I want McDonald's. I want McDonald's.
Don't tell me he went to McDonald's.
We went to McDonald's.
Okay, he's not cool, Dad. He's dad who gives in.
Yeah.
You were bribing the kid.
So we
No,
went
no,
to
no, no,
McDonald's.
no. Hold on a second. Let me get. I just wanted you to explain.
Okay.
I want to explain the
I'm
difference.
new to this, Chris.
You've
I'm
never
new to
had
this.
children. You've
I've
never
had children.
No, you haven't. And you.
I've been around your children, but this
Yeah.
was like,
Okay. Okay. So you like my kids, right?
Yes.
You think they're well-behaved kids?
yes.
You think that they're not like obnoxious? They're respectful.
They're very respectful.
Oh yeah, and if you tell them no, they understand what the word means.
The first time,
Okay.
maybe not so much.
Yeah,
But,
okay, yeah, but they well, the little guys are still in training. But you see what the two older ones
Yes,
grew up into,
yes.
right? I mean,
I'm
they're
just
both
joking,
both
yes.
honor students.
They're good kids.
Right? They're good kids. Okay,
they're good kids.
that's because I would just tell him no all the time.
Yeah.
You understand? Like what he did is he gave him 2 parks. Ridiculous. Okay. And the kid then changed the where you were going to eat after you were already at the first place that was selected, and he bowed down to him.
Well,
Now,
Dad
if he-
would have dragged him out of the car. Like, no, we're staying here. I was like, no,
Thank
he
you.
doesn't want to be here.
Thank you.
He doesn't
That-
want to be here.
You proved my point.
I was like, he doesn't want to be here. Let's go get him McDonald's.
You
I'm
proved
like,
my
what's the big deal?
You proved my point.
I'm the one that gives in.
I understand, but you proved my point.
Yeah.
This was a bribery of a child. Is
It
what
was the
this
bribery of a
The
child.
bribery of a child to like you. Did he like you in the end?
He says he did.
Did you get a report afterwards from Joe?
Yes, he wants to come play at my house because he knows I have cats.
He wants to come play at your house now.
Yeah,
because you're
but he
his
wants Dad to drop him off.
Because you're his girlfriend too now.
Yeah, because he wants Dad to drop him off. Same thing like his grandmother lives in Kansas City. He wants his dad to drop him off in Kansas City and then go back home and then come back and pick him up. So, yeah. He likes the
love it.
attention on him.
I love it. I
He's
absolutely
a cute.
love it.
He is just the cutest kid. I was so nervous. I've never dated anyone with a kid. Before this, anyone with kids was like off limits to me because I didn't want to deal with baby mama drama, ex-wife drama.
What's the situation with mom? Is it good? Is it bad? Is she coming at you with a knife?
She
what
doesn't
is?
know about me as far as I know.
Well, she knows about you now because you're on the podcast.
I'm on the
talking about it.
podcast. I doubt
Okay.
she's listening.
It's gonna get out there.
It's gonna get out there.
Okay.
You know,
So-
little man's gonna mention it at home.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
So have you got any words of warning? Like what's their relationship like?
I don't want to get into that.
Okay. So that sounds bad.
Well, I just don't want to get into it.
All right.
It's
well,
not my place.
If you
It's
but
not
I
my
know.
place.
I know. But if you would have sat there and said they're great friends, then but you
not
didn't
my
say it.
place.
It's not your place.
It's
Okay.
not my
I
place.
get the picture exactly.
I stay out of the mama stuff.
I think everybody listening gets
I
the picture
stay out of the
exactly.
mama stuff.
So now that's the thing. Now,
Yeah.
Now you can't be too cool.
But now I'm like, did he really like me? Did he only like me because I played with him and brought him presents? Do I always need to bring
Here's
him
the
a
thing,
present?
though.
Do I always need to play with him?
Why does it matter if he liked you? Like deep down in the
Because
end.
my dad like forced like a step on
Okay.
us that we weren't ready for.
But the thing is, you're
Like,
not.
I don't want to do that.
You're marrying the guy now.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
it's awkward when your father is dating someone that you're comfortable with. It's very awkward. I don't care what age you are.
All right. I never went through this. Okay.
I
So
did.
maybe you're right about it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I also kind of look at it as like, all right, you met him. At this point, as long as he doesn't hate you,
He doesn't hate me.
then
no.
you're good.
Yeah, he doesn't hate
Right?
me.
You don't
No.
need to be his best friend because you're dating dad.
Yeah.
Right?
And we stole each other's french fries.
Like, okay, there you go. You got a bond. He digs you. You're good.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't hate you, you're good.
He
Because
doesn't hate me.
The whole thing is you just don't want dad to say, my son came to me in the middle of the night and told me that he had a vision that Hannah was going to be the scourge upon the family and now dad's breaking up with you. As long as that didn't happen, you're fine. Because guess what? Deep down in the end, unless Joe is a little weird, and I don't know, maybe he is a little weird, he's probably not taking the 5-year-old on all the dates, right?
Well, no.
You don't get the same kind of date with a 5-year-old as you get without the 5-year-old.
No. No. Joe was not even in the picture on this day. It was all about the little boy.
Okay, so now
It was,
that's
like,
it,
it
though.
was like dad just did not
Yeah,
exist.
but
The
now
little
you-
boy, dad was the chauffeur, dad was the McDonald's pickup.
Well, that's
what dad
On
was.
one hand, I'm a little concerned that the little boy thinks he's dating you now because dad.
He doesn't think he's dating me.
Dad
I'm his friend.
Dad brought him a girl and let him go into his room and lock his door and stay there for a while and barricade his door.
Barricade.
And then dad drove him around to wherever he wanted to go with his new girlfriend. That's what it kind of sounds like to me.
I had to sit in the middle seat in the back seat
Okay,
next to
thank
him.
you. There
Yeah.
you go. All right.
Yeah.
Totally very weird. So really, really weird. I mean, I keep picturing this. Like this boy was like, son, I'm bringing you a 40-year-old woman. Really?
Do you take that back?
39-year-old woman?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were there yet. You're not there yet? I'm sorry.
You take that back. You take that back right
Oh,
now.
my back hurts. My back hurts. My back hurts from laughing at that too. Son, I'm bringing you a 39-year-old woman. And she's going to sit next to you and eat whatever you want to eat and go to the park with you and play with you. And you can keep her in your room and I will sit silently in the front and drive you around.
Yep.
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
No. Not normal. It's weird. It's weird. Like, look, I mean, like, to me, I would think that the goal is that the long as the kid is like, he kind of digs you a little bit, he's not going to be a pain in the butt when you're around.
He's going to be a pain in the butt just because he loves to get under his dad's skin.
Yeah, but at that point,
he loves to get under his skin.
I wouldn't bring you around the kid that much still. I wouldn't.
I would. An instigator?
I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be bringing the kid around you anymore. You guys still need to date. You still got to figure out your thing. You still got to do all the fun dating stuff.
Oh,
you can't do that with a kid there. You know? What are you gonna do? You're gonna have dates where you have macaroni and cheese and like dino nuggets? You can't do that.
Always have the kid.
All right, I'm just saying.
He doesn't always have the kid.
Okay. All right.
He doesn't always have him.
I just want to make sure you're dating the right one of the right guy in that house. That's all.
I'm dating the right guy.
The older guy and not the younger guy. Just keep that in mind.
I'm dating the older guy.
All right, just want to make sure.
Just want to make sure.
Okay.
No, I had a blast. I had so much fun. I was nervous. I was scared. And now I'm not. So I survived. I made it. And it was good.
If you've just joined the show, just a quick reminder, we are doing, we're trying to figure out who we're going to put into the 16 seeds for the Battle of Evergreen Park.
We need 10 more.
We're talking restaurants, we're talking bars, we're talking breweries, we're talking stuff like that. Hot dog, I even said ice cream places, you name it, in Evergreen. I'll even take something that's like across the street from the border. Like I think I would consider a rainbow cone. It's right across the street. Yeah. It's right outside, you know? I mean, I think if you really want to make it interesting, you can throw something like that in there. Maybe there's a bracket
if it's within 1 mile of Evergreen, let's put it that way.
How about no, I don't want to do a mile within Evergreen, but there's
a mile.
Certain things that are like collar places that are right on the edge. You know what I'm saying? And like maybe you consider them or you make them do play-in games to get in or something like that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, you know, because look, I'm all about being specifically in Evergreen Park. I get that.
Yeah.
But you could really make this thing interesting. Okay. If you just throw in a couple of them like that are right there on the border, you know, that's kind of, but again, I want to leave it up to the listener. I want the listeners to give us our suggestions. Think about it.
10
you can
ones.
jump in here into the room or you can whatever. Okay. So, love this. I went to a doctor a while back, not my regular doctor, not my guy,
not your guy,
not Dr. Beckman.
Dr. Beckman's great.
Okay. He's who I'm going to see tomorrow for the back injury.
Yeah, Dr. Beckman's great.
And he's great, too. Over the weekend, like, I texted him.
Official doctor of the podcast.
He is. He's an official doctor of the podcast.
He is.
I couldn't get up over the weekend. And eventually, like, people saw me. The last time people have seen me out is I was at Duffy Park on Saturday morning. People might have seen me there. My little guy was playing in a ball game, and I wanted to see it. Okay? And, I love this. It's Hannah's boyfriend. Oh, the stupid thing's covering it up. Let me get that off of there because I love that comment. That's
Hannah's boyfriend sounds like a weirdo.
Okay. Where's the stupid thing? I gotta take the banners off. I'm still not good at this yet. Okay, here we go. I am going to take that off, and then I gotta bring up the comments, and here it is right here. Hannah's boyfriend sounds like a weirdo. A beautiful weirdo though.
A beautiful weirdo.
Okay. Anyways, I called him over the weekend. I called Dr. Beckman over the weekend, and the doc goes, or I didn't call him. I texted him. I go, Doc, I can't move, blah, blah, blah. I just went to this ball game for my kid. I'm a wreck. I'm never going to be able to stand up again. It's just my back completely gave out on me in the car.
No.
I've been trying to nurse it for a couple of days. I was a mess. So he like immediately was like, I'm going to call in a prescription for you. He took care of me. He's a great doc. He's a great doctor to have.
He is.
Okay. But anyway, I go to a different doctor for something the other day, or maybe about a month or so ago. And I go into this office and I get a bill, and the bill was say for $160.
Okay.
And it was for this specialist. And I was like, this is supposed to be covered. I knew it was supposed to be covered. Okay. So I call up and I go, this is covered. And they start arguing with me. I said, well, it's covered, so I'm not paying it. And there's like this whole back and forth on the phone. And then they put me on hold. They come back on the phone and they tell me, you're right, it is covered. And they erase the entire bill.
Okay.
And I sit there and I think to myself, like, if I wouldn't have called, then I would have just paid this thing. I'd be $160 lighter in my wallet
Yeah.
for no good reason.
For no good reason.
Today, that same office sent me a text message and tries to tell me I owed them for something else. And I responded back, I was told I didn't know anything. And then the person now the automated text turns into a person. It was crazy.
Right.
And the person goes, well, no. They start telling me, it says here in the computer you owe this, but we don't have an invoice or paperwork on it yet.
Because
And I'm like, you don't have paperwork on it yet? You're saying there's a bill from like 2 months ago, but you don't have paperwork? I'm like, present the paperwork and I'll pay the bill. Silence for like a half hour. And then I get a message back going, you're right. You don't owe us anything. Second time in a row.
okay.
Second time. I'm never going to this place again.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
So they literally were making up bills. And it goes back to
That's
something.
so scary.
I have a guy that does a podcast here on the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network by the name of Butch Zemar.
Yeah, Scuba Butch.
Butch is a nice guy. Okay, he's been part of the Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce,
Mm-hmm.
and what he does for a living is he sells insurance to companies. So basically, your employees get your insurance. He's the broker that finds you the best plans for the employees, where it costs you. He basically tries to get you the best cost point for what you want to get.
Yeah.
He sits there and helps you negotiate it and gets it all set up for you. Does all the paperwork, all that stuff. You basically pay him to do all this stuff that, like, a business that's trying to give insurance to their employees, it's difficult to
Sure.
do. Okay, and I think he deals mainly in like smaller businesses. Okay, but he'll set up insurance plans. And he does a podcast where he talks about a bunch of stuff on the network called the Zemar Podcast. And I'll produce it for him. And I learned listening to his show is like never accept the first bill from a doctor.
Really?
And so I started to do that.
Like challenge all of it?
Every single time a bill gets sent to me now, I'll challenge it. And 9 times out of 10, it gets reduced or erased.
Really?
Yeah, I think all this stuff is made up. I really do. Like I went in to go get a heart scan. Did I tell you this on the story? Did I tell you the
No.
story? Okay, I went in to go get a heart scan about a month ago.
Okay.
Dr. Beckman recommended
Ordered it. Yeah.
He didn't order it. He just recommended it.
Oh, okay.
He said there's a thing going on right now, $50 at Christ Hospital.
Oh,
You go over there, insurance isn't going to cover it. You got to pay the $50.
okay.
But what it does is it's basically a CAT scan of your heart, all the valves, the inside, the outside, the arteries, everything. It's going to tell us whether or not you got any plaque buildup, whether or not you got any issues going on. And the idea behind it is, in your mid-40s, why not do it? Because it'll tell us what's going to happen 20, 30 years down the road.
Yeah.
So we can prepare for it. We can make sure that if there is anything, we can handle it, right? It was a great idea. And I sat there and I thought to myself, for the money you spend on an oil change, why wouldn't you just go
your heart
one
checked.
time and just have this whole scan done and see what
Yeah.
happens? And what's amazing is I go in and I just pay $50 on a credit card. Like I walked in, I was in High Tech in Palos. Christ was doing it, or Advocate.
Yeah.
But I get an appointment right away at High Tech. Go over to High Tech in Palos. I show up at 6 o'clock. There's like no wait. They got a woman who's just running this thing, going to get an oil change, right? I sit down. They tell me, all right, the insurance doesn't cover this. I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, it's $49.99. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, all right. So I take out my card. I run my credit card like I'm buying something. Like
Right.
when do you do that at a hospital or anywhere, right?
Yeah.
No. I just run my credit card. They bring me back. They put me in the CAT scan machine. They run the thing. I'm out in 10 minutes. And it was amazing to me. And I thought to myself, like, normally, if I needed a CAT scan, the bill on my insurance would be $1,000,
But they can do it for 50.
right? It'd be $2,000.
They can do
And
a
the
CAT
insurance-
scan
anyway,
plus more.
The insurance would pick up $1,500, and I know $5 or something, or whatever. However, everybody's insurance thing is different. But think about how much that really would cost if I was in a real problem. And then you learn that they can just do it for $50
Right.
if you just give them like cash
And they
money.
give you what's great is they give you the price up front. They
Right.
never do that at a hospital.
And so what
Give
you
the price up front.
what you realize is this is all a scam.
It is a scam.
I mean it is.
Healthcare
I mean,
in America is a
it's
scam.
all a scam.
It's a scam.
You can and I've said this.
Dentists are just as bad.
I've said this to Dr. Beckman, and he actually, I'll be honest with you, I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem with them. They've always been honest with the bills. I've
Yeah.
always sat there and
It's an
talked to them
excellent
about it.
office.
And if there is anything that pops up and I go, hey, like, can you resubmit that again? They don't argue with me and they take a look
Yeah.
at it or whatever. So I've never had a problem with them, right? But I told him, I'm like, this is ridiculous. And he was like, it is kind of ridiculous. I'm like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, so you're telling me I can go get this thing for $50 if I schedule in advance and pay cash, but if I were in an emergency and they wheeled me in and needed to do an emergency CAT scan or something like that, They would use the same thing, do the same machine, and they'd hit me for thousands of dollars.
Isn't that horrible?
How is that even? Like, that's the thing. Like, everybody sat around and they said, and everybody sat around and said, well, we need free healthcare, or we need a different payer system, or whatever. You know how we always have these healthcare debates, and when Obamacare was happening, everybody was like all up in arms on one side or the other of it. But the real problem is they don't make these guys put the pricing up on their website like any other company, right? Like, I can't go if I know I have this back problem, right? I should be able to look up the urgent cares and the hospitals and say, I need to go have an exam and an x-ray. What's it going to cost me? Here's my insurance. This is the discount with my insurance. Boom, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, look, these guys, they're cheaper than these guys, right? But they don't do that. And that's what's crazy about it. Like any other, we would never accept that from any other business, would we?
No, you wouldn't. And didn't Butch tell you could shop around for like CAT scans?
Oh, you can shop around for all kinds of things.
Yeah, there's different prices for everything.
There's a place in Ridge Mall that does all kinds of scans.
Yeah.
And you just got to bring them the order, but you got to pay out of pocket because your insurance won't do it. And there was a time where I needed to go get like a nasal scan or something like that. It was cheaper for me to pay out of pocket at Ridge Mall
Then pay towards your deductible.
than to use the insurance.
Yeah.
But at least they had the price up and I could figure that out. And
That's the way it should be.
it's insane how this
the way
whole
it
thing
should
works.
be.
So I mean, like, that's the thing. And so then I asked Butch, and this I'm going to get to the end of the story here now. I asked Butch about this, and he tells me there's a law in place where they're supposed to put the prices up. So now lately,
Why don't they?
Hold on. So now lately, every time I go to a doctor, a hospital, or anything else like that, I just ask them in advance, what's this going to cost? And they'll look at me like I have three heads and be like, what's the price on this thing? And then they give it to you because you ask. So you got to know that you got to ask. It's crazy. I mean, like,
Wow.
I think we got so used to over the last couple of decades, the idea of you walk in, you put that little plastic card down, and then it just gets paid for and they give you a bill at the end.
Yeah.
That I think we've all kind of forgotten like what's actually being charged to us. I mean, and it's hit me over the last couple of months, especially with the fact, I got the back problem. I had I went into that scan thing. I've done a few things. I got on a health kick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I got to fix up a few things. I lost 20 pounds. I'm trying to take care of myself. And I've been around now more hospitals and doctors and things like that just because I'm doing regular maintenance of myself that I kind of stopped doing when the pandemic hit because I didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to a doctor's office.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, not during that
Originally,
time.
I didn't want to go to a doctor's office because I didn't feel like getting COVID. Right.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is going to knock me out for 2 weeks, so I don't have anything to do with it. Right. And then I didn't want to go to a doctor's office because I found it annoying that it was like the only place in America that I had to put a mask on towards the end. Right. Once we all realized that we didn't really need to wear them, it was like it was like the only place you went to. Right. So I mean, like, I really avoided them like crazy. And now all of a sudden I'm going and I'm noticing this now. So I would say that's my advice. Ask for a price. Challenge them on every bill. That's what I would do. Now watch. Somebody will challenge poor Dr. Beckman, and he was the one person that hasn't done anything. And he'll be like, what are you telling people?
Dr. Beckman is great.
He's great.
He's
really
great.
is.
His whole office
He
is
told
great.
me he's gotten at least 10 new people that have come in there because he's been on the podcast.
Good. I speak great things about all the nurse practitioners on the women's side, all the doctors I've seen on the women's side. Everything's been great.
He's like the Evergreen Park doc is what he is. That's for sure. Yeah,
Gets
definitely.
it to you straight.
All right. We are at the end of our show.
We are at the end of our show.
So here's the deal.
And we didn't drop internet.
No, I know we went out once or twice, and I saw listeners like drop and come back.
Okay.
I don't think we were out, but I think we did have problems where it was the feed. The feed was better. And we're going to continue to work on it.
We didn't shut down.
We didn't shut down.
We didn't shut down.
So here's the deal. Monday, there is a new episode of the EP podcast. So make sure to check that out. There's an on-demand one on there right now that you should make sure you check out. That's got, remember on Sunday, you've got the Stingrays. That interview's on that show, right? You've got the interview that I did with the lieutenant from the Evergreen Park Fire Department, I think is really informative because he not only talks about this big senior day that they're doing, which I think is really interesting, and why they're doing it. But he also talks about 911. He talks about like when the trucks are driving through the streets, what you're supposed to do, and all kinds of stuff. And then Gavin Yeaman was on from Public Works with what they're doing at some of the parks.
Yeah.
Because people are wondering, like, what's that construction at Duffy for? Like, people thought it was a water pad. It's not. Okay, they're not putting one of those in. It's something else.
Okay.
So, I mean, all that stuff's in there, and he's giving away free trees. Like, if you want a tree in your parkway, they're looking for people that are looking for trees. and he goes through how you do that.
Get a treat.
So there's a ton of stuff on there. What do you got?
Speaking of the police, shout out to the Evergreen Park police for saving those baby ducks. There were baby ducks that were stuck in the sewer drain at the Walmart. And the police came out, and Mama Duck was going crazy and squawking, and they saved all the baby ducks. Shout out to them.
More trouble at the Walmart. Wasn't that
More
where?
trouble at the Walmart.
Wasn't that where they
guy
chased the
threw
3 guys with the guns, and now they
Yeah.
got ducks over there?
Now they got baby ducks
Now
in
the
sewers.
now the ducks are a problem.
Mama,
for crying out
Mama
loud.
Duck was screaming at them, but they saved. So kudos to you guys.
All right, listen. The battle for Evergreen Park is going to heat up over the next couple of weeks. If you watch this later on demand, I think I saw something like last live show had a couple hundred people that watched after it was live
Okay.
and still went back and checked it out.
Nice.
So people are going to watch this. If you do watch this and you want to get yours in, do us a favor and shoot it into the comments in YouTube or on Facebook.
Yeah.
I get to see all the comments if you want to, and then you can always reach out at the eppodcast.com. There's a comment form on there. There's a way to leave a voicemail. I'm going to tell you something right now. If somebody uses the voicemail system, your restaurant's getting it. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, audio is king when you're doing a podcast. You just type it in. Maybe we put it in there. Okay.
You call us.
You call it in.
You're
You're
in.
in.
You're
Okay.
in.
That's the magic of how this entire thing works. Thank you very much for listening to the
Thank
EP
you.
podcast. My name is Chris. That's
I'm
Hannah.
Hannah.
I am now going to go put a heating pad on my back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.